I want to go back and point out, where it says about the narrow gate, right? Mm-hmm. It says, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are a few who find it. Now, I want to be in a few who finds it, but the problem is the word difficult.
Yeah, people don't want to.
People don't want to do nothing that's going to cost them something.
Yeah. Hello everyone, and welcome to Living Zoe with Minister John and Natasha Starling. Our title today is called Seems Right. Come on in and join us. Everything. The scriptures say stop imitating the ideals and the opinions. We don't supposed to have anything to do with that.
No, and when we're imitating those ideas and opinions of the cultures around us, we're becoming just like the world. Yeah. And we got to remember that although we are in this world, we are not of this world.
Absolutely.
So when we're imitating and becoming just like the culture around us, what's happening is another attack of the enemy. He's behind the scenes like a puppet master. Mm-hmm. And we can't blame everything on the devil, but this right here we can blame on the devil.
Yes.
Because he's behind the scenes orchestrating these things, and he's coming in, with these cultures, he's coming in, and just like you said, what we're living in right now, you can't really tell the difference in, from the parent to the child, because, they're doing the same thing.
Right.
So when we're on the same playing field, what's happening is the blind is leading the blind.
Absolutely. Because
we're doing the exact same thing. We're going to lead each other into a ditch when we're doing worldly things. So as you're imitating the cultures around you that are ungodly, you're just following a blind person, and that person's going to lead you into a ditch. Right. So when you fall into that ditch, okay, bam. That's 2 for 1.
That's right.
And then we're just kind of come behind each other. The blind leading the blind, and it's just going to be a domino effect. We're all just falling in the ditch because there's no one with wisdom and knowledge that's going to say, "Hey, no, something ain't right about this." And that's what we're here trying to do. We're trying to do our part in that area to warn and you not to conform to the culture around you. Because if it's ungodly, that's the place you need to run from.
Absolutely. Now, you may have heard the scripture more like this: do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. All right, so the scripture, don't be conformed. There's so much conforming going on. And again, this is a warning.
And it's so much so that if you don't conform, you're in the wrong.
That's right.
They make you feel like you're in the wrong.
Right.
When actually, no, you're right.
That's right. I mean, everything is flipped. Good is bad, bad is good. Everything is flipped. Yeah. Right is wrong, wrong is right. Everything is flipped in this way. But once again, listen to the words. Listen to the scriptures. Like I said, once again, stop imitating the ideals and opinions of the culture.
Right.
You can't get no more warning than that. Stop imitating. Don't do those things, okay?
Right. And then just because everyone else is doing it, that don't mean you have to do it.
Absolutely. So look, that leads us to the next part. I've heard that. I've heard this before. Well, everyone else is doing it. Everyone.
They don't make it right.
I'll tell you. You saying that, the devil has stole your tongue, because that's who made you say that. Well, everyone else is doing it, and it's to the point where you ignore the fruit of it. Well, hey, so
because your flesh feels good.
Yeah, and everyone else is doing it.
Yeah,
everyone else doing it. So maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're wrong, Tasha. Since you ain't doing it, maybe you need to get into it. Let's look at some more scripture. All right. Tasha, go take us to Matthew 7:13 through 14.
Okay, so this is going to be out of the New King James Version. It says, enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction. And there are many who go in by it, because narrow is the gate, and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it.
Mm.
So this is basically just telling us right there what we just said.
Right.
You know, people are saying, okay, well, everyone else is doing it. You know, you feel like, well, it's okay. It has to be okay because the majority of the people are doing it. This scripture just told us that wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction. So the word told us that this was going to be happening.
Right.
And this is what's happening right now. People are following the ways of the world, and we're putting Christ in this box on our shelf. And when we stumble and when we fall in that ditch, we're reaching up for that box that we put Christ in.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get out of that ditch, what we do? We put Christ right back on that shelf. Yeah. And then we go back and follow the crowd that's leading down this wide road that's going to lead to destruction.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can see that. So, you know, once again, be careful of crowds.
Be careful
Look
of the crowds.
Look at the scripture. Enter by the narrow gate. For the wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction. He's described the size. Be careful of these crowds. Be careful of congregating amongst people just because everyone else is doing it. Hey man, everyone else is doing it, dude. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Why? You know what? This is what they'll do. It's you.
It's you.
You got the problem. You. No. And just because I'm coming to tell you, hey brother, you may want to watch that. Something's not right about that. Too many people doing that. Mm-hmm. You know, something's not right about that. And then every time they do it, something bad happens. You know, and something's not right about that.
Hey, we want to take a quick break in that action just to tell you our heartfelt thanks from Living Zoe. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share. God bless. Let's get back to the discussion.
You know, I want to go back and point out, you know, where it says about the narrow gate, right? Mm-hmm. It says, because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Now, I want to be in a few who finds it. That's but right. The problem is the word difficult.
Yeah, people don't want to.
People don't want to do nothing that's going to cost them something.
Yeah, it's got to be easy.
You know, it has to be easy.
Yeah.
So that road, the way to that wide road is easy.
Right.
I mean, you should sit back and look like, man, this is just too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do the difficult thing, you know. And it's not really, if you think about it, it's really not difficult, but because the world is so, the world is just so messed up that everything has to be so easy. Yeah. You know, no one wants to do the hard thing. No one wants to fight for their marriage anymore. You know, no one wants to stand up to the bully. No one wants to, you know, tell a brother that, no, you're wrong, brother, you're wrong. So, but instead, they'll rather watch him fall into a ditch and potentially die, harm himself, because they don't want to offend.
Right.
You know, they don't want to do the difficult thing. You know, it may be uncomfortable, you know, at first. You know, you're having to tell someone, hey, you know, you might not want to do that because you're going down the road that's going to lead to death. You know, it may seem harsh. It may be an uncomfortable conversation. But if that's going to spare someone's life, we got to get out our own feelings and say, hey, this is more important. We're not to look at our own selves. We have to look out for our brothers and sisters. It's not about self. It's about serving those around us.
Absolutely. And look, I would much rather deal with you than deal with God.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I put it in my mind. The fear is not man. For me, I need to give to you what I need to give to you. Because if not, I got to deal with God. I don't want to be sitting in front of him. And he says, why didn't you tell him? Right. Now look where he is. Take your tail down there too.
And that's not a place you want to be.
You don't.
Because,
you absolutely
don't. At the end of the day, it's our job as believers. It's your job as a believer. Once you learn the things, it's our job to share the knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not our job to force it on someone. Like we said in the first segment, we're not trying to be forceful, but it's our job to share. Mm-hmm. It's our job to teach, when we know things. It's our job to warn. And we do that, and then we move on to the next, unless there's an assignment there. It is not our responsibility to sit there and make sure that they're eating, make sure that they're taking this word in. God said, go you into all the world and preach the gospel. Yeah. He didn't say, you stay there in this particular spot until they get it down deep in them. Yeah. No, we are to share the message, and it's up to you to receive it.
Yeah. And we got to see this, guys. Just to finish up with this particular scripture, I want to show you this point. And I mean, a lot of you parents might deal with this, because today, because of the age we're in, and information comes quick, everything comes quick. Mm-hmm. The easy way, people won't stand in. I got to cut these videos to a certain amount of time, because if I leave them up too long, if it's too long, you're going to shut it off.
Yeah.
We want it easy. We want it quick. We want it right now.
Quick.
Everything we want. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's going to take you sitting out some things.
Right.
And it's a struggle. It's a struggle. If we look at the scripture again, difficult is the way which leads to life. And we're not trying to say that God is trying to make everything hard. But there's a reason why things are so difficult. Because listen to this. All right, what makes things difficult for me will be me telling you and you cutting up with me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what causes the difficulty. Yeah. Me telling you the truth and you upset at me because I'm telling you the truth. The easy thing to do is just to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that outfit you got on, girl, that look good. That's the easy thing to do, just straight up lie, so I can make her feel good. Just let her walk on out, looking bummy and looking all messed up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the easy thing to do, because you're not from her. You won't get any. What do you mean? It ain't like you looking. You ain't got your. You see what I'm saying?
Instead of a person accepting
right.
The I don't call it criticism, but correction. It's not criticism. It's correction.
Yeah.
You're
true.
You're telling the truth.
Yeah.
So, because I would much rather, if we're in that position, I would much rather you tell me than me to get out in public and to have people staring at me and whispering behind my back.
Right.
That's just like, you can see somebody walking out the restroom with tissue on the bottom of their shoe, and they walk and they going somewhere, and they gonna be in front of a crowd of people, and you don't say nothing. You're just like, but look at that girl. She got that tissue on her shoe, and don't say a word.
A word. But it's interesting that is the difficult part. That's what makes this road difficult. It's because when I'm telling you the truth, we get backlash.
Living Zoe would like to thank its sponsors: M.A. Miller Enterprise, JMC Business Group, Perfecting Your Pursuit, and O Living Life.